All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about something really cool. Taking all those PowerShell skills you already have and bringing them into the serverless world with AWS Lambda. We're going to cover everything from creating to deploying and even monitoring your first function, and the best part, no servers to manage at all.
So here's the big question, right? You've got all these awesome PowerShell scripts that automate your world, but how do you run them in the cloud without having to spin up a virtual machine? Can you really just run a script on demand without a server?
You bet you can, and the answer is AWS Lambda. Think of Lambda as this amazing service that just sits there waiting to run your code whenever something happens, like a new file getting uploaded, or a change in a database, or even just on a schedule. It's the engine that makes serverless PowerShell possible.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. You get to use the language you know and love, PowerShell, but in this super modern, efficient, serverless way. That means no more patching servers, no more paying for idle machines. You just focus on your automation script. That's it.
Now, the cool thing is AWS doesn't just, throw you in the deep end and say, good luck. They give you a specific toolkit that makes this whole process incredibly smooth. Let's take a look at the commands you're going to need to know.
So the heart and soul of this whole operation is the AWS Lambda PS Core module. And what I love about this is that these 4 commands basically tell a story. First, you get a template to start with. Then you create a new script based on it. After that, you publish it up to the cloud. And there's even one to create a new package, which is perfect for your automated CI/CD pipelines. It's a whole workflow right there in your terminal.
Okay, enough talk. Theory is great, but let's get our hands dirty. We're going to walk through exactly how you go from just an idea in an empty folder to a fully deployed, working Lambda function, all written in PowerShell. When you really boil it down, it's just these 3 simple steps. We find a starting point, we put our code in, and we push it to the cloud. Seriously, that's the whole process. Let's break them down.
So here's where it gets really efficient. The first 2 steps kind of get combined into this one single command. We just run new AWS PowerShell Lambda, give our script a name, let's call it my first PS script, and then we tell it which template to use, in this case, just the basic one. And boom, AWS creates the script file for us, ready to go.
And when you open up that brand new file, this is what you'll see inside. The template kindly leaves these comments for you, explaining that 2 special variables are just there for you to use, $slam to input and $slam to context. Remember those 2 names. They are absolutely crucial, and we are definitely coming back to them in a bit. Okay, a blank script is, well, it's boring. So let's make 2 tiny changes to make it actually do something. First, we'll just uncomment that right host line. That'll make it log whatever data comes into the function. And second, we'll just add $PS version table to the very end. Whatever is the last thing in your script is what the function returns as its output. So this will give us a bunch of cool info about the environment it's running in.
And just like that, our script is ready. Now for the magic part. It's just one command to get this thing live. Publish-AWS PowerShell Lambda. This one little commandlet does all the heavy lifting. It packages up your script, uploads it to AWS, and sets up the entire Lambda function for you. It's honestly that simple.
Okay, so our function is live in the cloud. But how does that even work? How does the AWS Lambda service actually talk to our little PowerShell script? Well, that communication bridge is something called the handler.
Hey, remember those 2 special variables from the template? This is where they come into play. It's actually pretty simple. $lambda input is the what. It's the data, the payload, the specific thing you want your function to work on for this one particular run. And $lambda context is the how and where. It's all the metadata about the function's execution itself.
So you're probably wondering what's actually in that Lambda context variable. A ton of super useful stuff. You can see the function's name, its version, how much memory it's allowed to use, and my personal favorite, remaining time. Your script can actually check how much time it has left before it times out. How cool is that?
All right, we've built it, we've deployed it, and we understand how data gets into it. So what's the last piece of the puzzle? Seeing what it's actually doing. Let's talk monitoring. And you are going to love this. You don't have to do anything to set this up. It just works right out of the box. That right host command we uncommented, AWS Lambda automatically captures that and any other output and sends it straight to Amazon CloudWatch logs. It's totally seamless.
Now, at the end of every log stream, you'll see this report line. And trust me, don't just skip over this. It's a gold mine. It tells you exactly how long you got billed for, how much memory you used,
and this really important one, init duration. That's your cold start time. It tells you how long Lambda took to set up a fresh environment for your code. It's key for understanding performance.
So where do you actually find these logs? Well, you've got options. You can see them right inside the Lambda console, which is great for quick tests. You can go deep in the full CloudWatch console, or if you want, you can even pull them down right from your command line using the AWS CLI. So there you have it. We went from a simple question to a fully deployed, completely serverless PowerShell function. You've seen the tools, you know the workflow, and you understand how it all connects. You've officially got the blueprint. So the only question left is, what are you going to automate first?